Perfect. Awesome, guys. So welcome to the Q&A session. I'm just going to run through some of these slides real quick, and then we can jump into Serplify and walk you guys through setting up a campaign. All right. Now, the first thing that we want to cover, though, is the most common non-Serplify issues. All right. What I mean by non-Serplify issues is that some people are hitting up our support desk and saying, "Hey, this isn't working with my site," or "Why is this not working?" And for the most part, what we're finding is that the issues are on the hosting side of things. So wherever your website is hosted, or depending on what plugins you have installed on your website, can cause some issues between Serplify communicating with your website. Okay, so the first thing that we're seeing is Serplify says that it cannot connect to my site. This is what people are saying, and I'll walk you through. Once we go inside of Serplify, I'll walk you through where to actually connect and how to connect Serplify to your site. But some people, once they do that, they're reporting that Serplify still says that it cannot connect to your site. And some of the things that I'm about to share with you now may sound a little technical. But when communicating with your hosting company, they should be able to understand what you need. The most common issue for this issue here, where Serplify says that it cannot connect to your site, the most common issue for that is because the WordPress XML-RPC is being blocked by your host or by a security plugin that you have installed. Okay, so to check if that, I don't know how to say it, XMLR-PC is blocked or unblocked, you go to this URL here, and I'll post it in the chat box. So whatever your domain is here, obviously replace it with this section here. Whatever your site is, replace that with whatever your site is. So I'm going to send this to all of you guys now. So you're going to go there. If you're having that issue where Serplify can't connect, go to that URL there. And if it says that it's blocked, then that's the issue there. It needs to be open so that Serplify can communicate with your site. So if the text XML RPC server accepts post requests only, if that is showing, then it is not blocked. If you get anything else than this showing when you go to that URL, okay, if it says anything else besides this, then that means it's blocked. Okay, but if it says XML RPC server accepts post requests only, then that means that it is not blocked and you should be good to go. Okay, but again, if it says anything else besides this, and I'll post this into the chat box as well. And I'll send you guys these slides as well so that you can have them. Okay, if it says anything else besides what I just sent to you in the chat box, that means that it's blocked. Okay, but if it says that exact sentence that I just posted, that means you're good to go. Okay, does everyone understand that? Give me a 2 in the chat box if you understand that. Okay, perfect. Someone's asking, what cloud hosting do you recommend? I use 2 different hosts. I use D9 hosting and I use Google Cloud Engine as well. But don't ask me about Google Cloud Engine. It's very, very complicated. My developer handles all of that. D9 hosting is just a regular dedicated host. Perfect. Bridget's saying that she loves D9 hosting. Yeah, they're pretty good. They have great support. Anytime I need anything, they actually do it for me, because if you guys know anything about me, I'm one of the least technical guys. So even just making the smallest tweak to my site, I send it to them and they're able to do it. Okay. Perfect. So, all right. So I saw tons of 2s coming in, so everyone understands that. Perfect. If you have installed any plugins related to WordPress security, then you have to check their settings for anything mentioning that same thing, XML, RPC, and if there is either disabled option, or there's got to be you're going to be able to either disable that option where it blocks that, or whitelist our IP address. Okay, so if you're using WordFence or any of the top security plugins, they may be blocking this as well, okay, the XMLRPC. So you can either disable them being able to block this, or usually security plugins, they also allow you to whitelist different IP addresses. So I'll post this IP address in the chat box. So you can do one of the two. You can actually have disabled the fact that it blocks this, or just whitelist the IP address, and it should be good to go. So I'll post our IP address in the chat box. Okay, now does that make sense as well? Give me a 3 in the chat box if that makes sense. Okay, so in here, in this part, it could be your host that's causing the issue, okay, by the security plugin and all of that. And if you do have that security plugin installed, you can either disable it, the fact that it's blocking it, or whitelist the IP address. Okay, perfect. Tons of 3s coming in. Awesome. Let me see. Perfect. So that covers that. Okay. Now, if the above does not fix the issue, then it's your host that's blocking the XMLR PC. Okay, and you can ask them to disable it or whitelist our IP address as well. So if it's not the security plugin, then it's your actual hosting company that's blocking it. So, and by visiting that URL that I posted, you'll be able to know. So remember, if you go to this URL here, which I posted in the chat box, and if it says anything else besides this, then it's being blocked, and that's why Serplify isn't able to connect. Okay, but like I said, at least my hosting company, D9 Hosting, I can send them an issue. If I have an issue like this, I can literally copy and paste this message here. Hey, please unblock the XMLR PC for XYZ website, or white label this IP address on my server. Boom, they should be able to clearly understand what you need. Okay, so perfect. Give me a 4 in the chat box if that makes sense there. Rita saying, I have GoDaddy now. Will that work? Yes, if you're working with GoDaddy hosting, they should be able to help you fix this if it's being blocked. Okay. Let's see. Perfect. Tons of 4s coming in. Perfect. Someone said GoDaddy hosting sucks. Yeah, I mean, guys, unfortunately, there are tons of hosting companies out there, and when it comes to hosting, you truly get what you pay for at the end of the day. And if you can only afford their $9.95 package, use that until you can build yourself up. I was on HostGator's baby plan for a while. I mean, and I was on there for at least 3 to 4 years, and rarely ever did my server go down. It wasn't until I think they changed owners, or some big change happened like 2 or 3 years ago, where they really started to have issues. And that's when I moved away. I was making a little bit more money, so I moved away to a VPS server. And then once I made a little bit more money, I moved up to a dedicated server. So you can always gradually move up from servers depending on how much income you're making. So if GoDaddy is all you can afford, then that's perfectly fine. You can make things work with that, okay? And then move on from there. Or HostGator. Steven is asking about HostGator. Yeah, HostGator, I told you, I used them for a while. I never had issues until they started. I think they changed owners or something. But usually if they have some kind of, and even if their support staff is a little bit educated in technical stuff, they should be able to handle this. Okay, if not, just bug them until they get you someone higher up. If you bother your hosting company enough, they'll move you up the ladder and get you to someone that can actually help you. All right. So the next issue that we're having is Serplify says it can't connect to my site when it attempts to post. Okay, so if Serplify is able to connect to your site when you initially add it or resave, but when posting it reports back that Serplify couldn't connect to your site, then it is most likely to do with your host security settings. Okay, so I was talking to about this with the developer, and he says that some hosting companies just have really, really weird security settings. So that's the issue with that. And the most probable cause is something called mod security. So all you have to do is ask your host to either whitelist our IP address or disable any rules triggered by that same URL that I posted before. Okay. which is the whatever your site is /xmlrpc.php. Okay, so if when you're going to post, it says that it can't connect to your site, then again, it is most likely your host security settings, not plugin security settings, but whatever your host is using as security settings. And it's called here, and it's something called mod_security. Okay, so you're gonna have to either ask your host to whitelist our IP address, which is this here. I'll post it in the chat box one more time. Or disable any rules triggered by the URL that I posted before. And before we move forward, let me get you guys the slides, just in case you miss any of this. So I have them in both PowerPoint and in Keynote. So I'm sending that to you now. Let me post it in the chat box as well, because I know some of this is probably getting a little technical. So it might be easier for you guys to have this. Perfect. I posted it in the chat box as well, and I sent it to all of you in the questions box. So you should have all of that. You'll be able to download this and go through it on your own. Okay, perfect. So does that make sense, guys? Give me a 3 in the chat box if that makes sense. Oh, and someone said that HostGator is good, that they fixed these support issues. Awesome, that's great to hear. Like I said, I used them for a while, never had any issues. Awesome, so tons of 3s coming in. Perfect, awesome. Now, this is very, very important as well, guys. For security reasons, we cannot do any of the above for you. So please don't send us your cPanel logins and ask us to do it. We rather just stay away from that. We don't want to have any issues. It's the last thing we want is for you to send us your cPanel logins, and then for some odd reason your site gets hacked, and then you think that we did it. So we don't want any of your sensitive information. We cannot do any of that. We've had several people asking us to edit some of the stuff in their hosting. We will not do it. Okay, so please don't send us your cPanel logins. We don't want to have any security issues with your sites, especially if you're dealing with client sites and you have client sites on your servers. We don't want to deal with any of that. So that's why we're trying to make it as clear as possible for you guys to be able to communicate with your hosting company as to what you need done to get the issues fixed. So please do not send us any of that sensitive information. Okay, give me a 5 if you consent to that, to not send us any of your sensitive information. Okay, this is a verbal contract with all of you that are posting 5s, okay? So if you send us cPanel logins, we are not responsible. We will never log in to it. Even if you've already sent it to us, we're not going to touch your stuff, so please don't send it. Awesome, so everybody posting 5. Perfect, so, and of course, for any other issues outside of that, just reach out to our support desk as usual. Our support desk is support@serplify.io. Lang and our support team and everyone else here is there to help you. We've been trying to get back to everyone as quickly as possible, and even many of you guys are hitting up my support desk as well. So we're trying to get back to everyone as quickly as possible, but for trying to keep everything as organized as possible, if you can, please send all your support desks to this email. I know, like I said, many of you have my support desk, so just having people send emails to multiple support desks gets messy sometimes, especially if you send it to both. Or sometimes people send it to support, to this support email, my Gmail, my other email that I have on my server. I mean, people just smash every single email that they can find, and we have different support staff on different support desks. So if one person sends you your login information, but then you hit up my support desk as well, and then he resets your password, and that's how things get messy. And we've had people saying that as well, where we send them their logins information, but then they probably sent the same support that email to my support, and they're getting 2 different passwords from two different people, and then they wonder why they're not able to log in, because one of the 2 is going to be a wrong password. Okay, so give me a 5 if you understand that as well. Another verbal agreement here. Okay, perfect. Great to hear that, guys. Awesome. Now, okay, I think that's all I have for the slide. So now we can jump into Serplify. Well, let's see some questions real quick. Let's see. Are you recording this? Yes, we are recording this. All right, now I asked for you people to post a bunch of numbers, so now all the questions are mixed up. Yes, a lot of people asking about replays, so yes. Ray is saying, where do you add keywords? In the content section. We'll be covering that here in a few. This is all Greek to me. Hope I can find someone that has a clue what you're talking about. Yeah, like I said, so if this all sounds real technical for you, that's why I saved all the slides for you. Just if you're having any of these issues, just go to the slide where the one that you're having. So if Serplify says that it connect to your site at all, refer to these two slides here. And if you're these three slides, and if your site cannot connect to if Serplify cannot connect to your site when it goes to make a post, then refer to this slide here. Okay? So I'm trying to make it as simple as possible because, again, I know it can get a little bit technical, but like I said, if your the support staff of your hosting company has any sort of technical knowledge, they should be able to do this. It shouldn't be too difficult. We're not asking them to change any sort of code. We're just asking them to either whitelist or remove some rules in the security settings. Greg is saying, does that work with .NET sites also? Yes, all of this, it doesn't matter what, whether you have .NET, .com, .io, .biz, whatever it is, your domain name shouldn't affect anything when it comes to hosting your site. There's two different things. Oh, someone is asking, it's the hosting company that I use is D as in dog, D9, D as in dog and the number 9, D9 hosting. Robert is asking if the plugin has been installed successfully and it's got green ticks. Does that mean it could still be blocked? No. If Serplify shows 2 green check marks when you added a site, then that means it was able to successfully connect. So it should not be blocked. Okay, awesome. So some good questions there. Daniel is asking, can Serplify be used for nationwide campaigns? Yeah, absolutely. I'll actually be talking a little bit about that because there's a few of you who are going buck wild with it, which is great. But I recommend that you should go a little bit more strategized with it. There's some of you that are just going in, selecting every single location in the US and just letting Serplify go crazy on it, which is good. Well, that's what we built it for. But again, if you're using, your hosting company's smallest package, and you're trying to send, 200 posts in a minute to a site that's being hosted on a server that's, hosted with thousands of other sites, your site may not be able to handle that. So I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Being able to, strategically, if you do want to, post to the entire country, then you want to be strategic about it, depending on what you're using to host your site. Okay. Daniel is saying, will I need Spin Rewriter? Yeah, we definitely recommend using Spin Rewriter because, again, if you're wanting to post, if you're wanting to create a campaign and you're going to make 2, 3, 4, 500, 1,000 posts, you don't want the same article to be posted to each one. So with Spin Rewriter, you can change it up a little bit for each time it gets posted so that you don't get any duplicate content.
Hey Joshua, real quick, Joshua, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, your mic sounds a little weird.
Yeah, so let me switch it over 1 second. Yeah, just carry on, Joshua.
Your mic sounds.
Yeah, just we had someone ask about, on-page SEO factors guide. We're gonna go through that when Joshua walks through the campaign, but it's all about relevance and authority. So, and obviously,
it's hard to understand you.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you sound like a robot.
1 second.
Yeah, it sounds like you're underwater or something. There you go.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, but now you got an echo. Oh, hit mute. I'm gonna mute you out real quick.
Yeah, move on.
All right, I put you on mute for a bit more while you work out your microphone issues. Sorry, guys. All right. Joseph is saying SEO sounds really complicated. How do you test these setups, and are these networks that Serplify builds PBNs? Okay, that's the good thing about Serplify is that it can actually do all of the pretty much the boring work. 'Cause at the end of the day, SEO is boring. But once you get those first page rankings, the rewards are amazing because you can get some of the best targeted traffic. I mean, in my opinion, the best targeted traffic you can get because nothing can beat being able to get traffic from someone that goes to Google, types in a specific keyword, and then lands on your website. There's very little traffic out there as powerful as that. And I've even talked to guys who spend 6 figures in paid traffic, and they say that Google traffic is the best traffic because they're coming to you. So it is a little bit complicated, a little bit boring, but that's why we create software like Serplify, because you can go in, you can create a campaign, you can have Serplify going out there posting 10, 15, 30 posts for you every single day, and boom, you can start getting traffic. Boom, it's just like a mass attack software. Okay. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So I'll come back to some more questions. And guys, yeah, if the replay for last night is not up, it should be up within a few hours. I was told it was going to be an hour. Let me check now.
Joshua, yeah, I just restarted my whole setup.
Yeah,
My
this
side
one
is
here
on now,
should.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Yeah. Just saying, we had a few questions, about on-page SEO. We're going to be getting into that when Joshua obviously walks you through the campaign, but it's all about relevance and authority, and we're going to be going through obviously the title tags, meta description, the header tags, page content, and stuff like that, because that counts for at least 20% of your SEO, and that's one of the main important factors when it comes to ranking. So we're going to be touching on that a bit later, guys. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm checking.
Yeah, so if
I'm
you've got
trying
any
to.
other questions, guys, just let us know.
Okay, yeah. So it seems like the replay hasn't been posted yet. Let me reach out to them and see. All right. So I just messaged them and I'll find out when it's going up. But check back later today and it should be up. Perfect. So let's go into Serplify. I'm here inside of Serplify. Obviously, the first thing you're going to want to do if you're brand new, you haven't logged into the dashboard yet, I highly recommend you watch the tutorial videos. Okay, I know at least us guys, we don't read instructions to save our life. We don't like watching tutorial videos. I know women are a little better with that. They like, reading the instructions, knowing what to do, and then doing it. But us guys, we just come in here, want to, just jump right into it. But I highly recommend watching these tutorial videos. They're short, sweet, to the point, and you can get in and watch all of them, fairly quickly. Okay. So let's go back. So the first thing you're gonna do, of course, is to add a site. Okay. And to add a site, you come here, hit this purple button here, and you're gonna put the URL, the username, and the password. Now, guys, all of this is encrypted. I mean, we don't go into your account and see your password, see your usernames. I know there were some people heading up to support desk worried about this. But again, we are the last persons that want to see this information. Okay, so this is we're not even allowed to see your password. Okay, if we need to send you guys a password or any of that, we can't see what your current password is. All right, so everything is encrypted. So the only way we can send you a password is to create a new one. Okay, so that's why we try to keep everything when it comes to security as tight as possible. So, we had a few people like, oh, I didn't know I had to give you my logins. You're not giving us your logins. We don't see this information. The only stuff we see is what's inside our own accounts. Okay, but so you put the URL here, your username, your password, and you're going to click add. Once you click add, I already have a couple of sites here in this account. Once you click add, the next thing that we recommend is to add the Serplify plugin. Now, one thing that's very important, the Serplify plugin is not required to run everything else. The only thing that the plugin is created for is so that Serplify can create randomized users on your account. Okay, if you don't want that function, then you don't need to install the Serplify plugin. Okay, give me a 2 in the chat box if that makes sense. Okay, the only reason you want to install the plugin is if you want Serplify to create users for you. Okay, it's not a required plugin. Okay, perfect. Someone is asking why randomize users. Well, think of it like this. Imagine Serplify goes out there and creates 1,000 posts for you. Okay, it's going to look a little weird if all those posts are coming from the same author. Okay. Because usually a massive site like that, a site where has 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 posts, there's a good chance that a site that big is going to have multiple authors posting multiple content, multiple articles. So the reason you want multiple authors is for that reason. So everything could look natural. As your site grows, you have more authors, you have different people posting different content, and all of that looks a lot more natural. But if you have one author posting, 5,000 articles on one site, that starts to look a little fishy, okay? Does that make sense?
So, yeah, William was asking how would I integrate spin tags into the article and have the city change. William, if you go on the training video, we cover that. It's pretty much simple as putting in spin writer settings and clicking on spin, and you can choose the spinning settings which you want. So you can choose if you want it spun in terms of if you want a lot of variations of it, or if you want it mixed with synonyms and so forth, but it's all covered in the training video. With regards to the city change, you just have to put a shortcode within the title. Joshua will show you all this when he goes through the campaign right now. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Dale saying I can just put in my URL. Yes. So don't put when you add a site, don't put the WordPress login URL. Just put the exact domain, the root domain. Don't put anything else after that. All right. Okay. So everyone understands what the plugin does, and I'll show you where the plugin comes into play. And the good thing is that you don't have to do anything with the plugin. Okay, all you have to do, let me log into this site real quick. All you have to do, and don't steal my niches, man. Don't look at my domain, even though you're already there, probably. Let me see. Okay, here. So where it comes to plugins, all you got to do is just install it like anything else. You don't have to configure any settings with Serplify. You just install it, activate it, boom, that's it, you're done. Okay, so now that you have your site, once you install the plugin, it's going to tell you if it's working, if your logins are working, and if the plugin is installed. Okay, and then from there you'll be able to start creating projects. So you go here to the project settings to create a new project, you click the add project, and here you can name the project. So I'll put drone repair 2. Okay, click next. Select the site that I want. Customize settings. I've already customized the settings for this, so I'm going to put no. But if you haven't, you could put yes. So this is a brand new install. I could put yes to customize the settings, and here Serplify will automatically change the site title, the site tagline, and the permalinks. Okay, now this is pretty much the root title. So whatever the title is going to be for the homepage. Now, of course, for each individual post and each individual page, all of those are going to have its own individual title and description and all of that stuff. Okay, now the permalinks, usually you want to put yes for this so that you can have clean looking links. The last thing you want to do is to have Serplify posting articles to your site, and then all of your permalinks. And what I mean by permalinks is whatever comes after the site. So let me just go to my normal blog. Okay, so permalinks is this here. So this is a permalink, which is the entire URL, which is whatever comes in after. Okay, so you want yours looking like this, where it's readable content that's usually pulled from the title. Okay, because that adds extra SEO optimization to your page, because you have your keywords here in your URL. Okay, so if you haven't done this, then you want to make sure you do that. And if you put yes, Serplify will know what type of permalink settings to set, which is usually going to be / post name, I think is the one that it is. I forgot what it's called. Actually, should be able to check in here. Let me see. It's a reading, discussion. Oh no, look here, permalinks. Here, so yeah, so it's post name, okay? So Serplify will know automatically to set it to the post name so that it can look like this instead of something like this, $P equals 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is what you don't want. And by default, this is how it comes installed. Okay, does that make sense? Give me a 6 in the chat box if that makes sense. Perfect. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to change this back to no. Okay, because I've already done it for this site. I'm going to click next. Now here, this is where the plugin comes into play, okay? Because Serplify will be able to create users that it'll attribute the content to. So pretty much like an author on a site, okay? So if I click yes, I'll create, let's do 100 users. And you can leave this as is. It'll use the WordPress domain as the email address for that user as well. So that's it's another way to make it look even more natural, because the last thing you want is for Shopify to create 100 users on your site, and then all those 100 users have the same email address. Okay, by using this, each user is also going to have its own email address. Okay, so that's going to make it even better for you and more natural looking for you in the eyes of Google. Okay, now here as well is where you can kind of optimize your author names as well a little bit. So this particular site is about drones, so I can put drone and then put an underscore, and then I can put also drone expert. Okay, so now this prefix is going to be added once Serplify starts creating users for this site. It's going to use these different prefixes. So it's going to be drone expert Josh, drone expert Mike, drone expert Mo, drone expert John. So that's going to look a little bit more natural, where every user has a different name. And if this is it's also going to look a little bit better for any users that land on the site. It's going to say, oh, this guy's the expert, this guy's the drone expert Josh, or whatever it is. So you can do that, or you can use whatever you want here as well. I like using keywords here just because it gives my sites a little bit more of an optimization advantage, because even the usernames have the words, and it doesn't have to be I like to try to keep it natural like this, drone experts. The last thing you want to do is to be using long tail keywords here. Okay, this is a place where you don't use, drone expert in Miami, Florida, Josh. That's not what you want your author names users to be. You want to make it look a little bit natural, at least there as well. Okay, so now that we've got our username settings, our user creation settings, click next. Does that make sense? Well, before we move on, does this part of Serplify make sense to everyone? All you're doing is telling Serplify how many users you wanted to create on your site, the email that you wanted to use for those users, and the prefix to be used for the author name. Okay, perfect. So everyone's clear on that. So now we can move on. So next, Okay, now here's where things get fun. Okay, this is where you can choose what locations you want Serplify to post for you. Okay, now some of you, like I said before, are going buck wild with it, coming here and just selecting, boom, everything in the US. Now, you can do that. Okay, that's what we built Serplify for. Especially those of you with the unlimited, with the deluxe package. You can come in here and do that for all of these countries if you have the deluxe package. Okay, you can just go buck wild with it. Just remember that it may, if your site can't handle that, don't come crying to us. Okay, if you have a small, if you have if you're on a server, a shared server with thousands of other sites, there's a good chance that your site's not going to be able to handle 200 posts a minute, or 2 or 300 posts a minute. It's just not possible. There's just going to be too much activity going to your site. So if you are on a smaller server like that, or a more shared server like that, I recommend being a little bit more strategic with your targeting. Okay, you can come in here and first start off with 1 state or 2 states or 3 states. Okay, or even just 5 cities. Okay, and then scale up from there, and then do it over time instead of just coming in here and wanting to just go crazy on the entire country. Okay, so especially for me, I specifically would prefer to truly geo-target my audience and know exactly what location I'm targeting, and then boom, once I get that campaign done, then go on to the next one. Boom, all right, then I'm going to target this campaign for this location, and then this campaign for this location. Because again, as well, if you come in here and you select everything, it's just going to be hard for you to keep track of what's going on. It's just going to be a huge headache, especially if you're not at that level yet. Because someone that come in here and does all of US, I'd prefer someone that has a little bit more XEO experience, someone that has a little bit more, maybe a little bit more staff on their team as well. Someone that has 1 or 2 people helping them, where they can come in here and do this kind of stuff. But if you're just a one-man show, I don't recommend doing that. Again, it can get crazy for you. Your site might not be able to handle it, and again, things start to get a little messy. I prefer to be a little bit more targeted with where you're going. So I live in Miami, so let me go down here and see if I can target some places in Miami. Oh wait, I'm not in Miami. I'm in Alabama. Let me close this off. And does that make sense to everyone? Okay, to not come in here and just select the entire country right away. Give me a 7 in the chat box. Okay, perfect. Tons of 7s coming in. I saw a question there. Someone is saying, Daniel, when you have time, I did not get taken through the funnel, so no options of OTOs. Okay, so if you didn't get a chance to purchase the deluxe version or the academy, and the academy is also already going on, guys. We had our first session this past Monday. Our next session will be this next coming week as well. That's more of like strategy and things like that. So let me make sure I have the URL correctly for you, Daniel. Here it goes. All right. Sending it to you now, Daniel. I'll post it in the chat box as well in case anyone else missed the upsells. If you purchase the front end, you can go to this link and either hit yes or no, and then you'll be taken through the rest of the funnel. All right, let me close this out. Perfect. Okay, so I'm in Alabama. Let's close out of here. Go to Florida. Let's do Coral Gables. Coral Gables is a small town within Miami, so I'm going to do Coral Gables. And this is the good thing. This is how I like to target local markets. You see, Coral Gables, this is mostly people that live here in Miami know about Coral Gables. And I'm sure it's the same thing where you live as well. When I think of Los Angeles, okay, I think, okay, LA. But people who live in Los Angeles, they know the smaller little towns within Los Angeles that they can target instead of just the entire, instead of just the big city of LA. You can dig deeper into those smaller towns within the big city and get a little bit more targeted and get more traffic. Here, look, this one as well. Coconut Grove. This is another smaller town here within Miami. Okay, now let's actually target some zip codes in the actual city of Miami. All right, perfect. So I'll do all of them. And let's do some in Miami Beach as well. And this, when anyone else thinks of Miami, this is what they think of as well. That small strip that's always shown on TV, but that small strip is a very small part of Miami. Miami Gardens, it's a little bit further north Miami. Let's do Miami Lakes as well. This is more sort of West Miami. And let's do something in Orlando as well, just because it's a smaller city. Here we go, Orlando. Perfect. Let's do all of them in Orlando. All right, perfect. So there I've got a good amount of locations set up already. And from there, I'm good to go, okay? This shouldn't be confusing for anyone, right? Just selecting what locations you want to target. Give me a 8 in the chat box if this is complicated at all to come in here and select. Okay, tons of 8s coming in, so everyone's understanding this. Benedict is asking, why am I selecting Orlando? What is the goal of this campaign? Okay, so my goal for this campaign is to rank in these different zip codes for my target keyword. Now, I wasn't going to do this, but I guess I might as well just do it. I'm going to walk through the whole thing. But for this particular site, I'm going to be targeting drone repair. So that's going to be my main niche for this. Okay, so I'm going to be targeting drone repair experts in all of these different zip codes that I just targeted. So my end goal for this is, once I'm ranking for these different posts, is to reach out to some of the people who are advertising for that space and either try to rent out the space to them, or just completely have them buy me out. Be like, look, give me $5,000, give me $10,000 for the site. You can have it all. Look, here are all the rankings. Here are all the traffic. Boom, just have it. So that's my goal for this campaign. So obviously, the more rankings I can show to the potential person that I sell this site to, the better it is for me. So I'm starting off, obviously, with my own location here in Miami, just because I feel comfortable here. This is where I'm from. And I know that Orlando is about 4 hours from Miami, about 3-4 hours from here. So I know the area. I don't know the area, but I know where it's at. It's in Florida. So I don't know. I just decided to select Orlando because I know Orlando. So just sticking to what I know of for now. Once I start getting some rankings, I can start branching out into different locations that I don't know. This is just my thought processes of what's going on, what I'm doing right now. It's not the right way or the wrong way of doing it. If you rather just go directly and start targeting places that you don't know and whatever, you can do that. This is just the way I'm doing it because of what I feel comfortable with. I always like to start with things that I know, places that I know, and then move out from there. Okay? That makes sense? Give me a 10 if that makes sense. Vicky is asking, how did I know to select that niche? Well, I saw, where is it that I think I saw an advertising, either on TV or in a magazine. I find niches everywhere, guys. That's one thing as well. You always want to have your marketing cap on. Wherever I'm at, wherever I'm going, I'm paying attention to what's being advertised to me, and I take notes. So I think for this particular niche, I saw an ad and I'm like, holy crap, I bet that's a really great niche. Right now, drones are like the hottest thing out. And I'm sure a lot of people crash those things, because even myself, I tried flying a little mini one and I crashed it right away. So, and some of these are crazy expensive. $3, $4, $5 grand for a drone. So I'm sure instead of someone rebuying a $3,000 drone, they're going to take it somewhere to get it repaired. Okay, so I saw an ad for that, and it just clicked for me. I'm like, man, I'm sure this is a pretty good niche. So I started doing some research, and I started seeing that some people were paying for advertising for this niche. So that's another good sign. So not only have I seen someone offline marketing to me for drone repair, but then I go online and I see people who are paying for ads in that niche. Okay. And there we go. I just gave you guys my entire niche. I'm sure that by the end of today, everyone's going to be buying domains in that niche, but oh well. Let's see. Is Serplify recommended for affiliate sites as well? Yes, absolutely. For this particular site, that's another thing as well. I love monetizing with affiliate offers. So that was my thought process for this niche as well. Okay, worst case, if I can't, say for some reason I can't sell the site or I can't rent it out, boom, I can easily put some ads to the latest drone that just came out, or the latest, gadget to use with your drone. I mean, the drone niche is so huge that, I can easily slap some ads on there to, affiliate offers on Amazon or other types of offers and monetize like that. Okay, that's the beautiful thing. Once your site's getting traffic, guys, monetizing it is easy. Okay, you take a look at the traffic, see what you're getting, try out different things. You can put a phone number on there. You can put an opt-in form. You can put a banner. You can start testing things. Okay, and see what works the best. Okay. Rami is asking, do we still need PBN authority backlinks in order for the sites to rank? It depends, okay? It depends on the niche and the keyword that you're targeting. If it's a little bit more of a competitive keyword, if I wasn't targeting drone repair, but I was targeting something like, boat repair. That was another one that I was considering targeting, is boat repairs here in Miami. I have a small little boat here. So that was another thing that I was thinking of. That's I'm just trying to give you an idea of how my mind works. Whenever I go into a niche, it's usually something that I know a little bit about. So I have a boat. So I was thinking of targeting that. I was like, oh, maybe I can target people that need help with their boats. But that's a huge niche here in Miami. Everyone, especially right now with the new year and then the summer coming up, everyone's trying to get their boats fixed right now. So that was another thing. Okay, should I target boat repair? And then, I saw the advertising about drone, and I went with that way because it was a little bit less competitive. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that, but oh well. Anthony is saying, when you say 100 users, what does that mean? Okay, so what I mean by users, which is what I talked about on the previous screen, what I mean by that is authors. Okay, so let me see on here. See if I have it on here. Okay, these are all users. These are all users that have been created on this site. Okay, so you can see this person has their own name, has their own email. So anytime a post gets posted, it's going to be randomly selected and attributed to one of these users or authors. These are pretty much authors, people who posted to this site. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense to everyone? Give me an 11 in the chat box if that makes sense. And when I say users, I mean people who are going to be posting. Because when I go in here, let's say I want to manually post something, I can attribute this to a specific user if I'm not mistaken. Or, let me see. Well, no, I'm logged into this account, so obviously it's going to be attributed to this. But if I were to delete this user, I can attribute all the content that I've just written to a new user. And all the posts will be under that name now. Perfect. So a bunch of 11s coming in. Diana saying, what is better, pages or posts? I've never seen a difference. At the end of the day, it's still a URL with content on it. I've never seen a difference between post or a page. Eden is saying, how do you get users? Eden, did you come on late? I already covered that. Serplify does it for you. Okay? So on the previous page, I'm not going to go back because I don't want to lose where I'm at, but in the previous page here on the users, hopefully you can see that here. Users, Serplify will do it for you. It'll create as many users as you set it to create for you. Okay, so let's continue. Let's hit next. And here's where the magic happens. Okay, this is where you create your content. Okay, so here again, you can choose whether you wanted to do pages or posts. Again, in my personal experience, I've never seen a difference in rankings between ranking a page or ranking a post. Okay, one advantage that I do like about going with posts is that I can categorize them. I can put them in different categories and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think when it comes to pages, you actually have to manually sort of create different categories and add them with the menu section. But when it comes to posts, you can, boom, put them in a category and categorize that and then make your URLs look even better like that. But again, I've never seen a difference between posts and pages and when it comes to rankings. But if you have and you personally like one over the other, you have that option here to choose between whether you want Serplify to make a post or a page. Okay, in the title. Now, this is very important as well, guys. These are the shortcodes that we have available. Okay, these are the shortcodes that I just selected in the previous section. Okay, so I'll be able to use those here. So I'm going to go with drone repair experts, and I'm going to do city, and I'm going to do zip code. Okay. Now this, again, this is going to allow me that every time Serplify makes a post for my site, it's going to rotate through all the cities and zip codes that I just selected on the previous page. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? Give me a 3 in the chat box if that makes sense. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Dale is saying, I am still confused, so I cannot use my existing domain with it. Yes, absolutely. You can, if you have a domain that's hosted on WordPress, that's running with WordPress, you can use Serplify with it. Okay. This just happens to be a new site, but if I have an existing site, I can connect it just like I showed you guys. You connect it here in the Sites tab, and boom, it'll connect. And you're good to go. So you can use it to go ahead and post to an existing site. Okay. And David is saying that's a critical detail that you just specified. Thank you. I'm hoping I just said a whole bunch of stuff, so I'm not sure what exactly it is, but I'm thinking maybe this being able to specify the city and the zip. All right. Jeff is saying, are shortcodes the same as dynamic tokens? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what dynamic tokens mean. Let's see. Let me Google it. It could be the same thing. I mean, all it's gonna what these shortcodes do, it's pretty much telling Serplify. It's pretty much telling Serplify to rotate. Anytime a post gets posted to my site, Serplify is going to know, okay, for this post, I'm going to have to use a different city and a different zip code. So using these two shortcodes allows Serplify to make sure that it makes a post for every single zip code that I just selected before. Because just think about having to do this manually. If you had to do this manually, you would have to go into here, and each time you make a new post, you'd have to do it manually. So drone repair in Miami 33137. Okay, boom, put my content, publish it. Then I have to create another new one. And then I have to type this in again, 33135. Okay, and boom, and do that again, over and over and over again. Okay, and then it'll do Orlando. Okay, say we're doing Orlando and I'm doing it manually. Okay, I don't know what the zip codes are over there, but 33033, let's say. Okay, boom, I have to come in here and manually change that. With these shortcodes, you don't have to do that, okay? Serplify is going to do that for you. It's going to rotate through all the zip codes and cities that I just selected on the previous screen and post to all of those. Okay? Hopefully that's making sense. How many websites can we link with one Serplify account? I believe it depends on the package that you purchase. If you own the deluxe package, then you have an unlimited access to everything. I think on the pro package, which most of you purchase, I think it's 10 sites or 20 sites. Don't quote me on that. It's whatever's on the sales page, okay? So go by that. But if you want to unlock and have access to unlimited sites, we recommend the deluxe version. That there's no restrictions, and you get access to all the updates with priority, and you get access to all the databases that we add in the future, all the updates, all the good stuff. The deluxe version is you get all the bells and whistles. Perfect. So someone said it's 10. Awesome. So 10. Carol's asking, where can we upgrade? Okay, 1 second. Let me get that for you. And I'll post. It's in the chat box. The account. If you guys, we have a couple of upgrades. So the one is for the academy, which is where on a weekly basis we'll be helping you guys out with strategy and things like that. To get the deluxe version, to unlock everything, I'm going to post that link in the chat box now. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, can you explain adding content to posts? Yes, that's what I'm doing now. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. This is me setting up the content that's going to be posted to my site. Okay, so this is the title that's being used. Now, this is the body of the content. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select some content that I have here. This is all about drones here. Okay, I'm going to post that here. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time. Oh, yeah, let's just do it. Just make it look a little nicer. Okay, perfect. Now, here's very important as well. Okay, these short codes, you don't just use it in the title. You want to sprinkle it throughout your content as well. Okay, so let's say if you're looking for a drone repair expert in city and then zip, give us a call. Okay, and this is just an example. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the bottom of this as well. And this is me just sprinkling my keyword across my content. And let me just sneak one more in here. All right, perfect. Drone repair expert in blank. Perfect. All right. So now this is what I pretty much did is I just optimized. So right now I just optimized my title and I optimized my my body copy as well. I sprinkled and remember, Google got real weird about how many times you mention your keyword in your content a couple of years back. So don't overdo it. Don't put it in every line. You see, this is probably around a 500-word article. I sprinkled my keyword in here 3 times. Okay. You can add links in here as well. So if you want to interlink through to different articles and create an internal link network, all that stuff, you can do that as well. You can add images, you can add videos, all of this good stuff, okay? Now, what I'm going to do before I add images and videos, I'm going to spin the content, okay? So spin, I have, I got to scroll real fast because my API key just showed for my Spin Rewriter account. I use Spin Rewriter. We're integrated with all the top spinning options. We recommend Spin Rewriter. You can choose whichever one you want. Okay, I'm not going to mess with any of this. I just want a normal spin. I don't want to get too crazy with this, but you can get as crazy or as conservative as you want. For me personally, I don't like to get too crazy. What I do want to do is make sure it doesn't spin. Oh yeah, let's just go ahead and leave it. What I was going to go ahead and protect expert. but let's just go ahead and let it spin expert as well, so that maybe I can get some additional traffic. So maybe I can get traffic for not only drone repair expert, but drone repair specialist or drone repair, I don't know what else, you know, whatever other synonym there is for expert. So I'm going to spin. Give it a few seconds for this to spin. Okay, now this may take, boom, just as I spoke. Boom, so you can see there, this has now been spun. Okay, perfect. So look here, expert, professional, and specialist. So now I've just tripled the amount of keywords that I can target, that I can rank for now. So now I'm going to be able to rank for expert, and let me go ahead and add that to the title as well. So that I can target those different types of keywords. Okay, so I'm going to use spun text, and here I'm going to put expert, professional, and specialist. Perfect. All right. Now, that's the content. That's it. Does anyone have any issues understanding that? What I did was I put my title in there. I optimized it with my locations that I want to target. I added my content in here. I sprinkled in my keywords as well, and I spun the content. Okay? Everyone understand that? Give me a 7 in the chat box. William is asking, what happens with links? Do they get spun? That's actually a really good question. I've already submitted that to our developer as a possible new feature here within the next couple of weeks, to be able to select and add a link shortcode. And what it'll do is, anytime you add a link shortcode, Serplify will choose one of your most recent posts and interlink your content. So great question there, William. We're already trying to work on that update so that you guys can interlink and randomly interlink your content. So Robert is saying, is the city's zip going to be the same inside each unique article, or will it randomize? Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be random. So the reason for those shortcodes is so that Serplify can choose from all the different zip codes that I selected, and it's going to make sure it posts at least one post for each of the zip codes that I selected. So it's going to randomize it until it does them all. Okay, all the ones that I selected. And Travis is saying, by spinning it once, will that create original content for each post? Yes, because now that I spun a lot of these words, there's an infinite amount of variations that they can do. It's gonna do with this one, and then this word, and then this word, and then go back this word with this word with this word. So yeah, just this one spun here, it's gonna be enough to get some unique content on my sites. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add some images. Okay, I'm gonna do. You can either here select from your own
Yeah,
hard
Joshua.
drive.
Yeah, Joshua. Some people are asking, where do you get the content from? Preferably, you would want to get like a unique. You'd either there's stuff out there such as 5 hour 99-cent articles. You want to get a fully readable, unique one, and then use that as a basis to then spun it. Yes, that's what I think. So if anything else to add to that, Joshua,
yeah, absolutely. So Fiverr, always, you can get someone to write a quick article for $5.
99-cent articles. Yeah, you get full English people writing it. Because as your money site, your main site, you want to get it obviously fully readable. That's fresh, and then have that spun different variations. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. One that I've used as well is iWriter.com.
Yeah.
And Greenlight Articles as well. But Greenlight Articles is a little bit pricier than all the other ones. Just a heads up. But yeah, you can use Greenlight Articles, iWriter, 99-cent articles like Mo just said, and Fiverr. Fiverr is always a good place to find anything you need. But yeah, guys, you definitely want to be making sure you're getting some decent content to use for this as well. Okay. Perfect. So let's find some drone images. This one's good. Select. This one's good too. This is good. This is good. And these are some nice drones. Good. 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 Perfect. So that's enough there. That's a good amount there. Close. And that's it. That's all you got to do, guys. Just select. Once you're done, it already knows that you're good to go. You can also come here and set your minimum and maximums. So if you want, if you have a bit of a longer article, so let's say you have 1,000-word article, you want to have usually for 1,000 or 500, 750, 1,000-word article. Usually you want to have at least 2 images. At least for me, because it just looks weird when you have this long article and then just 1 image. This is not that long of an article, so I'm just going to go ahead and put at least 1 image and a maximum of 2 images, because if the article is too short and you have too many images, it just looks weird. So here you can set your minimums and your maximums. Again, if the article is longer, you may want to have at least 2 images in that article. All right, does that make sense? Give me a 5 if that makes sense. Perfect. So close. Now I go down here. You can see that this went from 0 to 12 images selected. Okay, you might not be able to see it. See if I can zoom in. Whoa, zoomed in too much. Never mind. All right, let me go back. Perfect. But for you, you'll be able to see it. Here it goes to 12. And once we get to the summary page, you'll see that all of this is selected. Now, video.
And just to clear it up, guys, with the images, they are royalty-free images, so you don't gotta worry about copyright or anything like that. So
yeah, absolutely.
With the API, it takes it from the old royalty-free images. So no matter what you put in there, you're good to go. So yeah.
So I'm gonna select this one. These I may spend a little bit more time just actually watching them to make sure they're relevant and not some just crappy video.
Yeah, Doug goes, what's the normal word count? I'd say about 300 words, 300 to 400. It just depends, obviously, what local business you're targeting. Also, you have to tailor it accordingly to their needs. So it depends, but the average is about 300 words.
Yeah, I usually like doing 300 words and up. Anything below that, it just looks way too like too little content. Perfect. So there I selected my videos. Here under settings, same thing. You can set your minimums and maximums. I'm just gonna put 1 as well, because having 2 videos on a post just looks weird. Close. There you can see I selected 4 videos. SEO features here as well. Okay, this is gonna allow you to ensure that each of your titles and meta information is unique as well. Okay, so I'm gonna select this. Paste that here, and the description, if you're looking for a drone repair expert providing this, give us a call today. We are ready to help you fix your baby. Okay, keywords. Alright, I'm gonna leave that for there. I'm gonna leave this here now. Just leave it like that. Randomized keywords. You can either put yes or no, and then it'll choose randomly from these here. I'm gonna leave this as yes for now. Business schema markup as well. Very important. If you're working with any local businesses and you want to ensure that you have the schema on there for them, you can click yes, and this will allow you to fill this out. And it'll put that on each post so that it can help your local rankings. The business schema markup, very, very important for local rankings, okay? I'm going to put no. just because I don't have any information for for this particular site. Okay, but if you do have that information, you can go ahead and put it in, and you can also put somewhat fake information on here as well for now if you want to, or add your own information, and then you can always go in and change it out after. Okay, I'm going to just leave that as no for now. Does everyone understand that the business schema, it just pretty much adds the contact information for the local business, so that it can tell Google when Google scans the site, it's going to know, okay, this post is for this local business. Okay, perfect. So awesome. A lot of you guys are saying that you understand it now. Yeah, David is saying, can we add the schema after if we are selling the site? Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Awesome. So you guys are understanding now. So, all right, we're good to go. Okay, boom. We've got everything set to go. Click next. Now, here's where the syndication goes. Now, where this comes into play is as soon as the content is posted, you can set where you want it to be syndicated. Okay, and it's going to happen automatically. Okay, so here I have one of my SynWire accounts. Okay, you can use anything. We have I have my Social Monkey, my Social Adder, Network Crusader, OnlyWire, whatever account you want to use, you can use it in here. Okay, SynWire is probably the pricier one of them. Social Monkey is only $7. Social Adder has a free account. The only issue with that one is you have to actually log in. You have to earn credits if you're using their free account. So you go in, you log in, you earn credits, share other people's content, earn credits, and then you can have your content shared. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and do SynWire for this example. I'm going to use my same spun title and my same spun description. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to click next. And here I'm going to enter the number of posts to make. So let's see, let's do actually let's do minimum maximum per day. Maximum posts, let's do, I forget how many, let's do 200 for now. Okay, so let's do 135. Okay, so you see here I tried to put more than what I selected. So when I put 200, it told me, hey, no, you have to do between 1 and a maximum of 135 because I selected 135 zip codes. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and put 135 so that I can post a post for each of the zip codes that I just selected. Okay, now the minimum, I'm going to do, let's say 3 per day. I want to grow this site over time. Right? I don't want to go crazy with this site because it's a brand new site. At least this is the way that I do it. I know John probably does it differently. Mo probably does it differently. Lang probably does it differently. You guys probably do it differently. Okay, it's all going to depend on how much, how much you're willing to push the boundaries. I like building my sites slowly over time, and letting it grow slowly instead of just going crazy with it. Okay, so I'm going to do minimum of 3 per day, and I'm going to do maximum of 10 per day. Okay. Actually, let's do it a little less than that. Let's do between 3 and 7. Okay. Click next. And that's it, guys. That is creating a campaign. Now, this is the summary page. This is what's going to tell me what I just set up, okay? And you can double check everything before submitting it. So I'm posting to one site. I'm not customizing the site settings because I already did that. I'm creating 100 users, okay, which is authors, like I mentioned before. I'm targeting 7 different cities and 135 different zip codes. And the content is the most geo-targeted location is the zip code. I'm using 12 different images that are going to be rotated throughout my post. I'm using 4 different videos that, again, are going to be rotated throughout my posts. I got the SEO features enabled, which is going to allow me to automatically optimize each of the descriptions. I have the schema markup not enabled. Okay, and I'm going to be making 135 posts, which is going to be posted between 3 and 7 posts per day. And the postings are going to take approximately 27 days so that all 135 posts are complete. That sounds perfect to me, okay? I'm going to go ahead and click add. And that's it. Boom. This campaign has been deployed. Now I can sit back and this campaign is going to go out there and make 135 different posts across 27 days for me. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone? Did I just cover something that just completely confused you? All right, give me a 3 if you're okay. Give me a 5 if I confused the crap out of you. Perfect. Vince is saying I got it now. Makes sense. Super essential. Perfect. Awesome. William is saying mind blown. Perfect. Paul is saying that he is a little bit confused, but you're just starting. Perfect. Then the best thing, if you're still confused, the best thing is that I can recommend is go back and watch this recording as well. I covered everything from start to finish on creating a campaign. Watch it a few times. Come into Serplify. Even if you buy a test domain, okay, just the domain that you use to test Serplify for, you can buy a domain for like 99 cents when some of these registrars are running specials, or you can even pick some up for $10. Buy a domain that you want to test with. Come in here, create some projects. Do your hardest to break something, and you'll eventually figure it out. Okay, I'm sure I can almost assure you that by the time you create 2 to 3 projects with Serplify, you'll have the pretty much the hang of it. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, so we're pretty much covered the setup of everything. So let's see if you guys have any more questions. Do you need a new site and domain for each city and zip code? No. You saw. I'm using one domain, and I'm targeting 7 different cities and 135 different zip codes. Okay, so I'm not targeting, I'm not going to buy a new domain for each city unless you do want to do it that way. Okay, if you want to get super targeted with each of your domains, you can do that. So if you want to target a specific city, so let's say that your monetization strategy is to go out there and sell these sites to a local business, okay, or to rent a site to a local business, okay. If you're dealing with people like attorneys, doctors, they might get bothered if they're on the same website as other doctors. So in that scenario, you may need to buy different domains for each client or each city that you're looking to get into. But it's not necessary. But again, there is no right or wrong. You can buy a separate domain for each city, or you can just do what I did. I bought one domain, and I'm targeting, at least for this particular project, I'm targeting 7 cities. After that, once this one's done, I can go in and boom, create another one for another 7 cities on that same domain. Okay, so there's no restrictions for the deluxe version on how many projects I can create for each domain. Okay. Anthony is saying, how are you monetizing national campaigns? That really depends on the niche. Okay. And again, there is no one way of monetizing. I do a lot of testing, so if usually I always start with Amazon. If Amazon isn't working, then I'll try something else. I'll try a different affiliate offer on a different network, or something like that, or try building a list. That's another thing that I like doing. I like list building and then taking them through a funnel. So really depends. Joshua is asking, is there a way to delete what has been posted or retracted? From within Serplify, not at the moment, but that's a good suggestion. But within your site, you can do it, fairly quickly. You can go to all posts, select this button here, and just trash them all. Okay, if you have hundreds of sites as well, you can change this to show. Wait, no, go back. Where is that? There should be an option here where I can. Oh, here we go. Screen options. If you have thousands of posts, you can put, to show number of items per page, show 500, and then delete them all from there. But I'll talk to the programmer and see if we can go ahead and do something along those lines. But if not, you can do it like that within your site. How would you best use for offline services? One of the best and easiest ways to monetize, especially if you're dealing with what I like to call emergency niches, where your electricians, your plumbers, your roofers, those people that people call when something breaks and they want it fixed right away, where all they're doing is just looking to find a site, make a call, get someone to their house to fix it. If it's a niche like that, you can easily rent out the sites, okay? You can tell them, hey, look, I have this website, it's ranking, I have my phone number on there, I can start sending you phone calls right away. Or you can just start sending them calls for a week. And there's different call forwarding services out there that allow you to have a whisper on there. And a whisper means that you can have a small recording before the call goes through. So you can have a whisper that says, this call is being forwarded to you by Joshua Zamora. Boom, you send three to five calls with that whisper to someone within a week. They're going to be like, man, who the hell is this guy Joshua Zamora sending me phone calls? He's going to praise you, especially if they're sales calls. And then imagine, a week and a half later, you're like, hey, this is Joshua Zamora. Have you been enjoying the phone calls that I've been sending you? Would you like to, these calls are coming in 100% automated from this site that I have ranking. Would you like to purchase that site or rent out that site? I have an availability right now for $500 a month. You can get all the calls that come to this site. Boom, right there. You've already sent him 3 to 5 calls. There's a very good chance that they're gonna say no to that. Okay. David is saying, what service does the whisper? I know, what's it called? Ring Central, I know, has the whisper. Even the free one, Google Sites, has a whisper that you can use, I believe. No, not Google Sites. Google, man, what's it called? The Google one. Crap, what's it called? It's funny, I have my own Google phone number. Is it Google Phone? No. What's it called? Google Voice. There you go. Google Voice. Even Google Voice allows you to have a little whisper on there. Any decent call company should have a whisper. There you go. Everyone posted Google Voice. Perfect. Someone is saying Trilio, Callzoo. Yeah, Callzoo has that as well. We mentioned Callzoo on yesterday's webinar training. Callzoo is amazing as well. If you guys were on last night's training, I believe the replay for that should be coming up here. Chris just posted apology, internet very slow. He's still rendering it. Okay, so if his still takes long, I think I have mine downloaded already. I'll probably upload it and put mine up. I just have to check to make sure my replay from yesterday is good. Analytic call tracker, someone's posting, is another good one. Twilio. Perfect. John is saying, how many phone numbers do you need for 135 different cities? That's a good question. Like I said, for this one, I'm going to look at flipping the site instead of getting, different numbers for each section. But since I'm targeting 7 cities, let's say I was trying to go to the route to the renting out. Since I'm doing 7 cities, I'd give someone the entire city. Okay, so look, I have this city. I'm ranking for all these different zip codes in this city. I'll give you the entire city, and in that case, I'd need 7 phone numbers. Or I can tell them, look, do you have other locations in all of Miami? So do you cover Coral Gables? Do you also cover Coconut Grove? Do you cover South Beach as well? Okay, perfect. I'm ranking in all of those cities. I can put your phone number, or I can forward you calls from all those different cities for $500 each city. And you can give them options like that. You can be like, look, I'm ranking in 5 different cities. I can give you, and then you can bargain with that. I mean, this is me just negotiating with myself, I guess. But let's say I'm ranking in 5 cities. I'll be like, look, I can give you for $500, I'll give you this one city, or for $1,500, I'll give you all 5 cities. and I just turned the $500 sale into a $1,500 sale, and he's pretty much getting 2 cities for free. But I don't care. I'm making $1,500 a month for just forwarding calls to this guy. Okay, so perfect. So sorry, that should be what rank tracking is. For rank tracking, there's so many options out there. I use rank tracker as one of them. I know. There was the other one. There's so many of them. I use the rank tracker. Not only do I use rank tracker, but I also use rank tracker. I use their API as well for several of our software. So that's the one I use. If someone's saying Pro Rank Tracker, that's a good one. I know SourceWave has one as well. Serpbook, perfect. So see, how can you separate cities if they are all on a post page and not anything? No, they are, Corey. That's the thing. Now that I set it up, if you saw the summary page, each post, since I used those short codes, you can see here, since I use those short codes, it's going to be going out. Each post is going to be going out for a different city. Okay, so Serplify is doing that for me. Serplify is creating posts and making sure that each post is targeting a different zip code that I selected. Perfect. So glad you got it, Corey. Daniel is saying, do I have to set up 100 emails for the author? No, it does it for you, Daniel. Serplify does that for you. Let me go back in here and show you guys. So if I create a new project, if I go here to the users tab, let me create a site. If I come here to the users tab, not only is Serplify going to create the user, but it's going to create the email specific for that user as well. Okay. Vince is saying, what is the fastest way to make money with these sites? Again, these are all very general questions. It really depends what niche you're targeting, and and what keywords you're targeting. All that stuff matters. If for this drone site, as soon as I start getting rankings, as soon as I start getting traffic, I'm going to start testing different monetization strategies. I'm going to put some affiliate banners on there. Once I start getting traffic, I'm going to see which pages they're going to, and I'm going to install some traffic analytics on there to see where all this stuff is going, and then make decisions based off that. Because remember, guys, once you're getting traffic, all of that is data that you can use to make as much money as possible from your sites. So if I see that a specific zip code is getting more traffic than all the other zip codes, I'm going to focus and optimize that page where all that traffic is going to maximize the money that I can make from that. So if, let's say that I live in 33137, let's say I'm getting a ton of traffic in 33137. Okay, I'm obviously going to go to that specific post that's getting that traffic and start optimizing that post. I'm going to add banners. I'm going to add maybe a more personalized video. Maybe I'll add an opt-in form to that blog post. Maybe, whatever. I'll add a different banner and just try different things. Once the traffic starts coming in, the monetization part is the easy part, because once you have the data, you can just start seeing what's working, what's not. If the banner's not working, boom, I'll try. I'll go directly to someone that offers drone repair here locally. Be like, look, I'll sell. This is the kind of traffic that it's getting. These are the pages that it's going to. Do you want to buy this site? I'm looking to unload different projects here. You can have it for $1,500 or $1,000. Whatever. You don't need to sell it for some crazy amount, especially if Serplify created the entire thing for you. You don't have to sell it for that much. David saying, how to make the most money, go after drone repair. No, all of you, if you have to agree to not target drone repair, post a 10 in the chat box and a verbal agreement that you cannot target that. Yeah, not that many times being posted now. Joseph is saying, how do we place a compelling call to action on each post? Good question. Let me write that down. Maybe we can create a short code where you can write write a. Oh, I just had an idea come to me. Maybe we can create a short code that it'll pop up a section that allows you to customize a call to action, and you can add that short code to each post. Great suggestion there. So let me see. Let me write this down. Customize call to actions. If not, while we work on that, you can, like I said, once you start getting traffic, boom. Once you start, right now, I don't really care for optimizing this site too much. You go to this site and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be plain. It's going to be, it's going to be just pretty much text, images, and video. Nothing here. You can see nothing here. But once I start getting traffic, once I start getting rankings, and I'm able to see the data coming to the site, I'm going to go and start tweaking the different pages or posts that are getting the traffic, and start tweaking from there. Okay, I'm not going to worry right now about making it look nice, adding any of that stuff. No, I'm going to wait until I start getting traffic and I start getting rankings and all that stuff, and then go in and tweak and test and try different things. Okay. Timothy is saying, what are you using to track your data? You can use Google Analytics. I know some people get weird about adding Google's code onto your site. I've never believed those superstitions, but I use Google Analytics, and I also use another service called Improvely. Both of them are good. Improvely is obviously a paid one, but Google Analytics is free. You can use that, no issues. William is saying, do you need to put the Google Analytics code on each post? No, you just need to put the Google Analytics code and the header tag of your site. And I believe there's a plugin that allows you to do it easily for WordPress sites. And it'll start tracking all your pages. And once you go into your analytics account, you'll be able to see which page is getting the most traffic. David is saying, improve Ly. All right. Awesome, guys. I think I'm running out of vocal cords here. So I'll take 2 more questions, and then we can call this a day, because we're going about an hour and a half now, and my vocal cords can't handle that much. So I'll take 2 more questions, and then we can call this one a wrap, and then hopefully do another one. Let's see. Andrew's saying, why not instead just use a CTA, a final funnel, for instance, a CTA button that leads to a separate PayPal order page with a monthly payment method for that page setup? Yeah, send that over to any suggestions that you guys have, guys. Send it to our support desk, because remember, this Serplify is our baby. We are looking to really make this into something really, really powerful that you guys can use. And the way for us to continue improving on this is by your suggestions. You telling us, hey, look, this is what we should do better. Here, if you tweak this, it'll make it easier for me. So if you have any suggestions, send it to our support desk, support@serplify.io, and we'll do our best to get those added in there. We've already got a huge list of what we plan to release in 2.0. So just continue sending your suggestions, and we'll continue adding to this. Brian is saying, do you have a service to do all this work for someone? No, do what work, man? Serplify pretty much does it for you. I mean, what you could do is train a VA, pay someone $2, $3 an hour, train them on exactly what I just showed you, or send this video to someone, or train your teenager, to do it for you. And once they're done with school and their homework, train them to follow these different steps that I just went through and create campaigns for you. We don't have a done for you service for Serplify. That's the reason we created Serplify, so that it can do a lot of the work for us. All right. William is saying, do you handle the calls first from your sites and then send them to a business after you track its activity? Look, I usually just, like I said, I send it to them right away. Because if someone is calling that number, the only way that they can find that number usually is if they landed on my site looking for that information. So I know that it's a targeted call boom, I'm just forwarding it right away. And if you want to find who to forward the call to, just go to Google, type in your keyword, go to the second page, and send it to that guy, because that guy's in the second page. He's not getting any traffic. He's probably fighting to get to the first page of Google. So just send whoever's on the second page the calls, and they'll love you to death because you're sending them. You'll send them sending them that call.
Awesome stuff, guys. Just real quick, if you really enjoyed the webinar today, just leave us some positive feedback. Say, awesome webinar, you guys rock, and it really motivates us and pushes us to obviously push out more awesome content for you guys in future and all these updates and everything. So just leave us a comment, leave us a feedback, let us know. Great, awesome, excellent stuff. Yeah, awesome.
Perfect. Awesome, guys. And we're also having another webinar on Tuesday with Chris Winters. So you guys will send emails about that. That is going to be more training from Chris, and he's going to have an offer for the Call Zoo as well. So if you guys are interested in really taking advantage of local rankings and showing how to get local rankings and how to be able to automatically set whispers and automatically forward calls to clients and closing those sales and automatically being able to collect payments and all that stuff. Stay tuned for that. I think it's going to be happening on Tuesday and Thursday. I think we're going to run two of them. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be having some good stuff. And this replay will be also going out. Once we're done here, I'll render it. It's probably going to take a few hours because we're at an hour and 40 minutes now, so it's probably going to be a pretty big file, but we'll have that on there. Tigrid is asking about Call Zoo. Yeah, Call Zoo is Chris Winters software that pretty much automates the entire process of being able to rent out your sites with your phone number and forward the call to your clients and be able to track all of that, record all of that, collect payments. Really cool software. So he'll be demoing it on Tuesday and also sharing some powerful strategies on how you guys can rank in the top of Google locally. So some very powerful strategies going on there. Our link, all right, if you guys are already interested in Call Zoo, some of you are asking for the link for Call Zoo. Give me 1 second. It's the same page that the URL is going to be for. All right, that's the link for Call Zoo. Yeah, the other link is the same as well. Let me post that in the chat box. Can you post it in the chat box, whoever's posting it? Not only in the questions box. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, as Joshua mentioned, we'll be doing a webinar next week, live training webinar with Chris Winters as well. He's going to be covering some powerful strategies, which is going to help in addition to Serplify. So really looking forward to that one for sure.
Perfect. All right, guys. So thank you for being on here. We'll definitely hold another one of these because I'm sure there's a lot of people that weren't able to jump on today. So we'll probably be doing another one of these laid back trainings for you, just walking you through setting up another project just in case you need to see it again. Or if you can't wait to that one, you can just watch the replay for this one. So thank you guys, everyone, for coming on here. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully this helps you to go out there and start creating campaigns and clear up any confusions that you have. But with that said, thank you guys, and we'll continue talking to you guys in email and other webinars and all that good stuff.